Nicholas. What am I going to do with you?
Sir, you have to understand.
No, you have to understand. The boys here aren't used to the concepts you're bandying about. The H word, Nicholas. There hasn't been a recorded act of heresy in Sanford for 20 years.
But sir, I'm certain, and what's more, I know who did it. Can I see the commissar, please?
Commissar Skinner to the commissar's office. Commissar's office. Commissar Skinner.
Sergeant Angel, and to what do I owe this pleasure? Commissar Skinner, I'm detaining you on suspicion of the murder of Leslie Tiller.
Leslie Tiller's dead? How? She tripped and fell on her own shears.
I'm also arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Tim Messenger on May 1st, of George Merchant on April 29th, and of Eve Draper and Martin Blower on April 28th.
Why on earth would I do that, Sergeant?
I'm glad you asked. My suspicions were first aroused when you appeared at the scene of the Blower-Draper death on the outskirts of Sanford, despite the fact that you live and work in the center of the village.
What happened, Danny? Traffic collision.
I couldn't help but recall your comments at the theater on the previous evening, when you not only indicated an awareness of the couple's affair, but also inferred that Eve's connections on the council might make her privy to important information. You even spoke of bashing her head in, perhaps hoping you might discover the root of the proposed webway fragment. You were already suspicious that George Merchant was buying up a large area of land on the outskirts of Sanford, after an article Tim Messenger wrote in the Sanford Citizen. You see, the land Merchant was buying had little value in and of itself, but if it became accessible by webway fragment, it would become a prime location for, say, a retail park. Consumed with concern for your business and potential disloyalty from fickle customers, you yourself expressed a wish to summarily execute. You yourself killed the competition in cold blood, staging the murders as accidents. You used a vehicle removal truck to stage the Blower-Draper death and incinerated an old man in his own house, covering your tracks with the judicial application of bacon and beans. However, there was a loose end. Tim Messenger. Splattered before he could share with me what he told Leslie Tiller that very afternoon, the true value of her land. Upon discovering she was about to sell up to the off-world developers, you brutally murdered her with your own shears, and made good your escape utilizing your impressive skills as a fun runner.
Very entertaining, but I rather think you've been playing too many video games. He hasn't. Why would I kill Leslie? You clearly aren't aware that we're related.
Oh, but I am, cousin Sissy.
I'm afraid my nickname of Sissy is only a revelation to yourself. My teenage years studying ballet are well known.
Yeah, Sissy Skinner, what a slanty boy.
Thank you, Angie's. Now, despite my comments about executing customers, I personally relish the competition of another store. Anything to energize my workforce. And anyways, what makes you think I could dislodge part of the ecclesiarchy roof? Or for that matter, stage a car crash?
It's a well-known fact that the ecclesiarchy roof is in dire need of repair. And isn't it true that 2 of your own employees operate the vehicle removal service for the council?
Sergeant, this is the 42nd millennium. Many people hold down several jobs. I myself host a life drawing class at the village hall. Tina here is a table dancer at Flappers.
Nevertheless, you could have utilized the vehicle removal truck for your own ends.
These accusations are quite meaningless, Sergeant, unless you can back them up with hard evidence.
Well, you've got me there. I'd need something conclusive. Something that placed you at the scene of the crime. Perhaps a wound you sustained on a piece of broken glass this very evening! This very evening!
Sergeant, this is beginning to get embarrassing. How could I possibly be in several places at once? I'm sure the store's security footage will absolve me. Do feel free to spool through.
I can handle this, Danny. You might as well go back and just enjoy the rest of your birthday.
Did you really get me that plant?
Yes, I did, but it's been impounded as evidence.
Well, I mean, maybe Dad will let me water it, eh?
Sergeant, I wanted you to know that if I do indeed now own the land belonging to Leslie, that I intend to turn it into a memorial garden in her honor.
Commissar Skinner, what you do with your land is of no concern of mine. So jog on.
Michael, will you escort the sergeant off the premises when he's quite finished?
Yarp.
I just can't believe Leslie's dead. How did it happen?
She tripped and fell on her own shears.
Hey, look, Mr. Tree just got his big coat on again. You want anything from the shop?
Cornetto.
No luck catching them killers then?
It's just the one killer, actually.
No luck catching them killers then?
It's just the one killer, actually.
No luck catching them killers then?
It's just the one killer, actually.
Dental plan!
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan!
Lisa needs braces.
Do you mind? I'm trying to think.
No luck catching them killers then?
It's just the one killer, actually. It's just the one killer, actually. What's the matter? You got brain freeze?
No, I got brainwave. Get us back to the chapter house now.
Ah, waste of a good cone.
It's more than one person.
Come again?
It's more than one heretic.
It was Skinner a minute ago.
Yeah, well, maybe it still is. You know, maybe he's not alone. Maybe there are others.
Nicholas, you're an exceptional Astartes, but I've seen this before.
Sir?
Sergeant Popwell was the exact same thing. You've come from a battle fleet where there's heresy around every corner, and it's driving you round the bend.
Yes, sir.
Do yourself a favor, sleep on it, and if you still feel the same way in the morning, I give you my word, I'll get right on it.
Hey, what's happening? What's going on?
Nothing. I'm just gonna go back to the Swan Barracks.
I mean, do you want a lift?
No. I could do with a walk. Hey, biggin. Playtime's over.
Michael! Michael! Are you there? Michael! Is everything okay?
Yarp?
Sergeant Angel's been taken care of?
Yarp?
He's not gonna get back up again.
Narp?
Good. Proceed to the castle.
Frank, this got real. Skinner just sent someone to kill me, and now he's gone somewhere. Up to the castle, I think. I'm gonna go after him. Okay? It's Nicholas, by the way.
Emperor's balls! What happened to your peace lily?
Denny, just stay here, okay? And watch him and call your dad. Tell him I was right.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna bust this thing wide open.
Nicholas, wait. You might need this.
Thanks, Battle Brother.
How could I possibly be in several places at once?
Bonum Columnae Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis.
I just can't believe this. He's dead. How did it happen?
Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis.
You'll find that we were
Bonum
very tight
Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis.
Who could do
Bonum
something like this?
Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune.
I think our Mr. Merchant tried to have a little fry around the gas.
Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis.
What happened then?
Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune
We're not catching up, kids then.
Bonum Commune Communitatis. Bonum Commune Communitatis.
Now, you'll all be delighted to hear that the tenacious Sergeant Angel has been taken care of. Joyce will discover the sergeant lying on the wet floor of his bathroom, having slipped and tragically broken his neck. So, with the dispatch of the sergeant, we will now be able to concentrate on our Watcher infestation. After which, nothing will stand in our way.
Oh, I beg to differ, Mr. Weaver.
Well, 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 I see we have visitors.
Sergeant Nicholas Angel, Sanford 6 Inquisition.
My, he is tenacious, isn't he?
I'm detaining you under suspicion of conspiracy to commit murder and of conspiracy to hand over Imperial assets to sanctioned Xenos.
Xenos? What the devil are you talking about?
You should all be ashamed. I should have seen it before, but hearing it chanted makes it all too clear. The greater good.
The greater good.
What's so bad about the greater good?
The greater good.
Everyone keeping to their role, playing their part, keeping to their little box. It's the Tau, isn't it? Those blue-faced, forehead-nosed Votal wannabes. You were going to put the webway fragment in their filthy three-fingered hands, weren't you?
What?
Why would we do that?
The chant. The greater good.
The greater good.
None of us subscribe to the philosophies of the Tau, Sergeant Angel. Tau caste principles force uncreative conformity and prevent the cultivation of innovative ideas from alternative sources.
Which can lead to stagnation. Tau castes seek to suppress mortal nature, while imperial principles seek to harness them.
Harnessing mortality. Aha! This is a gene stealer cult, isn't it? I knew there was something wrong with Georgie. Skinner was all too keen on keeping him out of inquisitorial hands. Genetic testing would have revealed his tyrannid nature and brought the full force of the Ordo Xenos upon Sanford 6.
Are you bonkers? We didn't go to all the trouble of cultivating this pristine planet just to hand it over to a bunch of animals.
What's the Hive Queen going to do with our awards? Eat them?
Well, Drukari? Nothing like a little kink to spice up the country life.
Oh, gross.
Have you seen how they dress? I am nauseated by the very suggestion.
But, I mean, chaos? I hear all the cool kids are doing chaos these days. Just the other day, I overheard Timmy talking to his mates. They were gonna go to his basement and smoke a line of chaos with, the bong.
You don't know anything about drugs.
No, I don't know anything about drugs. But none of this explains how any of this could be for the greater good.
The greater good.
You see, as much as I enjoy your wild theories, Sergeant, the truth is far less complex. Glower's fate was simply a result of his being an appalling actor.
Quite appalling. You murdered him for that?
Well, he murdered the Emperor.
What? Oh.
The Dramatic Society is an important feather in our cap. Couldn't let Blower jeopardize that. Not when we had two semi-professionals waiting in the wings. Let's not forget that Greg was an extra in Acid Dogs, and Sari played a cadaver in Tales of the Krieg.
Yes, I know.
Martin was less concerned with the reputation of the planet than he was with his sordid affair with Eve Draper.
And so Eve deserved to die too.
Well, she did have a very annoying laugh.
Annoying. And George Merchant?
He had an awful house.
Awful!
We begged him in vain to make his residence more in keeping with the village's rustic aesthetic.
And what about Tim Messenger? What was his crime?
Tim Messenger's tenure as editor of the Sanford Sixes has been unbearable. Our once great paper had become riddled with tabloid journalism, not to mention persistent errors. He listed her age as 55, when I'm actually 53. 53.
What about Leslie Tiller? One of your own. Her horticultural expertise helped put Sanford 6 on the galactic chart.
Oh, she was ever so good.
Cousin Leslie was a terrible shame. But it seemed she was set on moving away. We couldn't have her sharing her green fingers with anybody else. Not least with those heretics at Beaufort Abbey 7. If we can't have her, no one can.
How can any of this be for the greater good?
The greater good.
Shut it! You mean to tell me all these people died for completely petty reasons? Petty, shallow, inconsequential, nitpicky reasons. No Tau, no Tyranids, no kinky space elves. Nothing even remotely specific to the setting of Warhammer 40k.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Hello, Nicholas. I was like you once. I believed in the immutable word of codices and Terran edicts. That is until the night Mrs. Butterman was taken from me. You see, no one loved Sanford 6 more than her. Head of the Women's Institute, chair of the Floral Committee. When they started the Agri-World of the Century contest, she worked round the clock. I've never seen such dedication. On the eve of the adjudicator's arrival, some proxy players moved into Callahan Park. Before you could say thin your paints, we were knee-deep in off-brand Lego, thieving kids, and shoddy kitbash. Shoddy kitbash. We lost the title, and Irene lost her mind. She drove her Datsun Cherry into Sanford Gorge. From that moment on, I swore I would do her proud, and whatever the cost, we would make Sanford 6 tournament compliant.
Sir, this doesn't make any sense.
The adjudicators arrive tomorrow. We had to get everything ready.
Are you saying this is all about winning the Agri-World Award?
This is the best Agri-World, Nicholas. You've seen the people. They're happy, contented.
They're living in a dream world.
Sergeant Popewell thought much the same as you. I'm disappointed that you can't see the bigger picture.
Well, I'm happy to disappoint you, sir. And I'm afraid you're gonna have to come with me. You are all gonna have to come with me.
No, Nicholas, I'm afraid it is you who's going to have to come with us.
Danny, no. Back off! Back off! I swear on the throne to be explaining how Danny tripped it over and accidentally cut off his own head.
Come on, Nicholas. You haven't got it in you.
I mean it. Ah! No! Ah! Oh no! That's not technically a crime. Well, they were bound to get one of them right. Oh, right, the mutant kid. Now that one's on me. Danny!
Ta-da!
What are you doing?
Saving your skin.
This is heresy.
It's not, it's ketchup.
I'm not talking about it, I'm talking about the others.
What others?
The others the PWA have murdered.
That's not true.
It is.
Dad just said it was a special club. I thought it was about wrapping people on the knuckles and sending them on their way.
There are skeletons back there.
I don't know nothing about no skeletons.
What did you think was happening?
Not this.
It's Frank. He's appointed himself judge, jury, and executioner, which I mean he can technically do that as an inquisitor.
He's not Judge Judy Inquisitioner.
He is. You've got to help me take him down.
I can't. He's my dad. Take the rhino. Go back to the main battle fleet. There's nothing you can do.
I can come back. I can come back and I can bring the blue fury of the Ultramarines with me.
They'll make it disappear. Who are they gonna believe? An Ordo Xenos Inquisitor or a loony Space Marine Astartes?
But it won't just be me, will it? We can do it together, you and me. Battle brothers.
Forget it, Nicholas. It's Sanford 6.
Is that everything, sir? 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 Is there anything I can do for you?
No. This is something I have to do for myself.